Hi, this is Ken and Shelley. We frequently get asked about investment strategies, asset protection, and corporate structures. And quite often, this only happens after the fact. It would be nice to be able to make a difference for somebody before they really need it. Hence, why we decided to do some of these little video series. Hey, Shelley, tonight we should talk about managing cycles. And I'm not talking about bicycles. I'm talking about the cycles of real estate investing. Real estate is cyclical in nature. There's always, its peaks and its valleys, and learning how to ride that wave and be prepared for it for the long run, and timing on that to be prepared for sure.
Absolutely. And Ken, this is something that we've experienced over the last few years, right? We've had a couple of downturns in the market here in Canada over, the last 7 or 8 years, or sorry, about 10 years. So I saw this back in 2007. Here in Alberta, we ended up going through a downturn in the real estate cycle a little earlier because of a change in some policy within the government, and people kind of panicked and they wanted to get out of the market. And then, hot on its heels in 2008, we ended up with the global financial crisis, and then of course we just had the downturn due to the oil and gas, etc. again. And if you keep an eye on that cycle, 7 to 10 years, really watch that, and keep this, please. I'm going to appeal to all of you to make note of that. And the reason I say that is because back in 2006, we had some things that happened here in Alberta where the real estate prices went up $100,000 in 3 months. Well, if that's not a red flag for you in real estate, there's nothing is. And hot on its heels then came the changes in the government. In 2007, we started a crash. And it came fairly quickly in this province. It didn't impact the rest of the country at that time. 2008, when the global financial crisis came, then the rest of the country kind of got impacted. But during that time in 2007, I had so many investors come to me. They were losing their properties because they'd over-leveraged themselves. They weren't paying attention to those signs in the market of what was happening. And as you and I both know, what goes up comes down. And there's opportunities in all elements of that cycle. And just tweaking your processes will help you figure out how to make money as it's going up and how to make money as it's going down. So there's always opportunity, but be prepared. Start to look for those kinds of things. Wouldn't you say, Ken?
Absolutely. Learning how to ride it out is really important. You and I both have friends, Kelly and myself. We've all experienced the up and down in the real estate market. I've had the experiences where, well, take my own personal house, for example. In the peak of 07, it was worth about $630, okay? And then after the crash of 08, it came down about $420. It was a huge drop. Now,
Absolutely.
It was something. Yeah, we experienced that in Kelowna, and it's only now, probably today, back to being worth about $630, $650. And in the long run, as long as you're prepared to ride it out, you only lose when you're forced to sell. So as long as you're not in a position where you're hemorrhaging, I guess, financially on it, and it's making sure it's covering its own its own checks and balances, you'll be fine to ride it out for the long term. It will come back eventually. It's a matter of being able to do that and be there when it is. And if you can protect yourself through that process, you might have some that will cost you a little bit, but you have some others that are making you a lot. And there's a wash. So it's those checks and balances throughout your whole portfolio to make sure that you can ride it out in the long term.
So if you too have some questions and would like to get more detailed information, please feel free to contact either one of us, and we'll see how we can best be of service to you. Give us a call and we can, have a conversation and see what makes sense to you. You can reach Ken at 250-469-3002 or myself, Shelley, at 403-540-2668.